Well, having an inmate's conviction overturned or expunged remains an unusual event in Oklahoma. It's happening more frequently thanks to advanced DNA testing. Steve Shaw joins us now with the story of Perry Lott and his long-lost journey to justice. Steve.
Taylor, Perry Lott told me Monday it took a Pontotoc County jury about 8 hours to convict him 35 years ago for an alleged rape and robbery in Ada. He got out of prison 5 years ago, but until just 10 days ago, Perry wasn't even in the same ballpark as truly being free.
Perry Lott says his mother and father taught him to be good, but as a young man, he didn't listen.
I had an attitude issue with authority. I had a problem with authority, and it took me a lot of years in prison to recognize that I was flawed, whereas I thought I was God's gift to mankind.
Lott got sidetracked in 1980, shortly after enlisting in the Navy.
Nobody's gonna spit in my face and tell me my mom is less than what she is. I didn't use my physical powers, but I used my mental powers to get the hell away from these people.
The military.
The military people, they were abusive in their language, and it taught me to be abusive in my language.
After being honorably discharged from military service, Perry says his life went off the rails after his mother died in 1982.
Shock of my life.
She was your rock.
No, Jesus is my rock. But she was my example of how to treat you and others.
After some rocky years working as a machinist in his hometown of Racine, Wisconsin, which Lott admits included a year in jail for robbery, Perry Lott moved to Ada, Oklahoma in 1987, where he hoped to begin a new life designing greeting cards. Instead, 4 months later, Perry Lott found himself in a Pontotoc County jail, charged with robbery, rape, and other felonies.
I was accused of crimes I did not commit.
Lott says folks in Ada knew he didn't do it.
Because I don't know if they were scared, but I know they had repercussions if they stood up for this black dude when all the white town is saying, hey, he did that, and ain't no doubt about it. We got our guy. I don't care what evidence you got. He did this. I don't care what the science says. He did it.
This is going on in the 1980s? I thought that stuff went on in the 60s.
Man, it's going on in that town way before I got there. I just happened to walk into something that I called a black hole.
Perry did most of his time at the Dick Connor Correctional Facility in Hominy. There was also a 9-year stretch at Harp Correctional Center in Lexington. Perry says he refused to let all those years break him, even though a staph infection behind bars 18 years ago nearly killed him.
You gotta keep who you are intact. My dad, before he went to rest, he said, don't you show up as nobody but who you are, boy. He said, don't you be nobody else but you. Can't be nobody but me. The more I try to be like me, I look like somebody else.
You stood by that. You have.
Still standing on it.
Tulsa trial attorney Joe Norwood joined Perry Lott's defense in 2019 through the Innocence Project, which defends inmates who they believe were wrongfully convicted. Norwood says as far back as 2014, forensic analysis proved Perry Lott didn't do it.
Went around trying to get DNA on all kinds of people to compare it to the DNA in the victim's rape kit, and couldn't ever find it. So no.
My question is, if DNA ruled him out several years ago, 2015, maybe 2014,
right?
Why in the world did he sit in prison another 4 years?
Because this prosecutor was not agreeable to anything.
Lott says in 2018, he reluctantly took a deal from the then district attorney for Hughes, Pontotoc, and Seminole counties. The deal was Perry would be released from prison, But the rape and robbery convictions would stand, which meant Perry would still be a convicted rapist.
I couldn't, man, those people had it on me where they didn't want me to have food stamps. They didn't want me to have any kind of support.
When you got out of prison?
When I got out of prison, I mean.
Who are those people?
Those people who have offices and powers. We call them the powers that be.
My theory on that is a lot of these prosecutors, judges, pardon and parole board, governor, the people with authority to make these decisions, if they acknowledge that the system that they represent and run made a mistake, a lot of them feel like they're making a mistake themselves. And they're calling out the system that they are as fallible. And I think that's my theory.
Dr. James Creasy is a DNA expert who's head of the Forensic Science Institute at the University of Central Oklahoma. He says DNA analysis can be a great tool for our judicial system.
The technology continues to improve over and over again. The very first time this was done was in the 1980s, and it took large samples of biological material in order to get a result. And as it progressed through the 90s, early 2000s, and now today, you can get smaller and smaller amounts of genetic material to give you a result that's helpful and advantageous.
The Innocence Project several months ago approached the newly elected district attorney for Hughes, Pontotoc, and Seminole counties. And 10 days ago, on October 10th, Perry Lott was fully exonerated.
Didn't he have a staph infection in prison that almost killed him?
He has a severe disability. He has to walk with a cane, and it's not just a kind of need the cane, it's he cannot walk without the cane. He cannot get up out of his chair without the cane.
That's a result of the staph infection he suffered while in prison.
Correct.
Like in 2005?
Something like that, yeah.
He's been living with that for years.
For years. So he's severely disabled from what happened to him in prison, and he's been wrongfully convicted.
I also hear he was a mentor to younger inmates.
I'm sure Perry's a mentor to his lawyers. Perry is someone who is just so wise.
You got to help me with this. How did you not go crazy in prison?
I just told you. But I will call it my memories, my faith. I never let go of my faith. Never expected it to take 31 years to manifest, but it was there. It got me. I think God needed me in that place, man.
Perry Lott's in bad shape physically and financially. He's in need of a major surgery. Fundraising efforts nationwide through the Innocence Project are underway. Taylor?
Powerful story, Steve.